In the workshop, I am the law. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the workshop. Anyway, doesn't matter. Welcome back to the workshop where we are going to continue on working with our two dreads from two respective games. We're going to work on the one from Warlord Games, right here, right there. And we are going to work on the one. We're going to also be working on the one from Osprey Games. And just because we seem to have time in between doing some of their stuff, we're going to work on Judge Anderson as well. Just for funsies, because we can, and, well, why not? And if any sharp-eyed viewers noticed last week, or even in the intro, I have a Judge Dredd helmet right there in the corner. It's not ready yet. I mean, it's purple and red, not black and red. It doesn't have the visor. It's a work in progress. Anyway. Alright. So what we've done here is we've done the bodysuit with the dark gray. We gave it dark blue, and we've given it a wash of the black. We did the same with this one over here, with this one here. Alright. So now we're going to do the green. For the green, I have been using Lauren Forest. It says it's a layer paint. That's fine, it is. This means it takes a little bit more to work it in. Nope. And once again, we are on the hunt for my brush. Because silly me, I don't keep it, in a place that I can find it fast. Take some of the green. Put it on the palette. Wash our brush. A little bit of water. The same stuff we do all the time. Thin it down, make it flow nice. And we are going to start with the Osprey. Now remember, this is all just rough stuff, so make a bit of a mess. That's okay. I mean, now that we've got the bodysuit down, we want to be a little bit neater when we go in with the greens, because we don't want to mess up the greens too much. Well, there's a lot of this, little niggly work you're going to have to worry about. when you're painting Dredd figures. You know, elbow pads, knee pads. Making sure you're getting into all the nooks and crannies. Every now and then, take a little bit of water just to keep that green flowing. You know, make sure we don't have cat hair. If we go onto the gun, that's okay, because we're gonna clean up the gun later. Make sure that we're getting, making sure that we're getting to all those nooks and crannies. There we are. Now we're going to put some green on the knee pads and on the boots. So like I said, the Osprey Dredd is a little static for my liking. Whereas the Warlord one, to me anyway, has a little bit more life to him. It's got a it's just a bit more dynamic. I mean, not much. When I first saw him, I wasn't terribly pleased about the pose either. I thought they could have done something a little bit more dynamic with him or something. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm not the one that designs miniatures. I'm not the one that molds and models miniatures. So I'm still, entitled to my opinion. Not that my opinion may count for anything. But as a person who paints and reviews miniatures, that's why I have this show, and that's why you lovely folks are watching. I can at least give you my 2 cents. Miniatures, I like miniatures just a little bit more over like the plastic or full, basically the generic meeple. Minis are, they can be a little tougher. They can add a lot of value to a game. They can, and I don't mean just money-wise, like an old Monopoly game might be 40, I don't know what, 30, 40 bucks, somewhere in there. Whereas a game such as Descent, or, even the Osprey game here, this one, Helter Skelter, the base game could be well over $100, and that's because you're paying for the miniatures. You're paying for the artwork that goes into creating the miniatures and building the miniatures and casting the miniatures and all that lovely, lovely goodness. And if the miniatures are done well, then I think the miniatures bring something more to your game night, to your and if the miniatures or the models are so and they're just sort of kind of representative of what it is that you're painting, not really, of a decent quality. And it's up to you to decide if it's worth it or not. Alright, so now we're moving on to his belt pouches. Let's go all the way around to the buckle. And that'll be the side, and that'll be the side. That'll be the same on both sides. There we are. And that, my friends, is the green parts of the Osprey Judge Dredd. Now what we're going to do, we're going to clean the brush. Get some more green. Clean the brush. Get some water. Throw it in there. Now we are going to take the Warlord version, and we're going to do exactly the same thing that we just did. It's an exciting episode, isn't it, folks? We get to paint green. Actually, it's kind of neat because then you know, as you're going along, you really get to see the differences between the two miniatures. And it's not very often that I get to do basically the same character, but from, you know, from two different games, from two different design aspects. So I'm actually kind of fascinated by that. Yeah. It's kind of like the Stallone Judge Dredd and the Carl Urban Judge Dredd movies. Same character, but kind of wielded in vastly different ways. You know, and while the Sylvester Stallone outfit was a little closer to the comic book version, you know, with the really oversized shoulder pads. The Carl Urban version took the armor into more into the real world. Really, it had real world it had real world applications. But if you look closely, And possibly some of my Dredd aficionados may have already noticed. But if you look, really truly look at at Karl Urban's armor, all of the details from the comic book armor is there, including the green. The green is vastly muted and brought more into lines with like a dark, like a very dark tactical green, or kind of a sort of a blackish green, but it's there. It's green. So the next time that the next time you watch Dredd, for some of us, that's more often than some people may like to admit. Kind of look, and you'll see that all of the details of Judge Dredd's comic book armor has been built in to the movie armor. I thought that was just a nice little tip of the hat. I mean, they could have gone completely sideways with the armor, and the only thing that you had to know that it was Dredd was, they kept the helmet. But no, they put in all of the the eagle is there. The eagle's on the shoulder, and it's on the it's on the right hand shoulder. The straight parts here, they're they're on the left shoulder. The knee pads, again, more real world tactical, still have the pads kind of things. This is, I don't know, I just thought it was really neat that they took the time to redesign the armor to be real world, but at the same time bring in all the details from the comic book. And make sure it was there. I was really happy about that. And I also did like the fact that Karl Urban actually kept his helmet on for the entire movie, as it is supposed to be with Judge Dredd. Other judges, they take off their helmets all the time. Joseph Dredd, however, never takes his off. You never actually see what Joseph Dredd looks like. And from what I understand, that was one of the parts of the contract about Karl Urban playing the part of Dredd, was that if the helmet came off, then he would not play. He would not play Dredd. Apparently, Karl Urban is a was a bit of a Dredd fan. Or he was in his teenage years. Again, this is all stuff that I've read. So you can take it with a grain of salt, or if you know it to be true, great. Hi, bud. It's the other studio cat today. Only, unlike his sister, he doesn't nip. I don't give him his attention. I will, however, reach over and give him a scritch. Let him know that his dad's thinking about him. I'm gonna get some green on the eagle, but that's okay, because I'm gonna paint the eagle gold later on here. And almost done the green on the Warlord version of Dredd. And again, we will be doing all of the pouches, which go all the way around the belt. These pouches are a little bit more well defined on this version of Dredd than on the other one. I'm not worried about the fact that I'm getting some of the paint on his day stick. That's okay. Because again, things will get cleaned up later. There we are. Boom. Our two Dredds are coming along. They're coming along fantastically. And we're just going to keep moving on. So it looks like our time is almost up again for this week. That's okay. Don't worry. We'll be back again. Because we're not done Dredd yet. Alright, guys. So, in the meantime, and in between time, thank you to Stampede Wrestling for that. But in the meantime and in between time, I want you to stay safe, be safe, paint safe, and we'll see you next time in the workshop.